Did I tell you to leave me alone, bro? Leave me alone. I can't take this no more, bro. Man, this dude gonna make me kill him, bro. Now let me relax, man. This ain't even my son, man. I don't know why she leave me with this sucker, bro.
Gonna ignore me?
I just want some peace and quiet. Man, I did not tell you to get the hell up out my ear. Why you keep
You
playing
don't
with
tell
me?
me what to do. No.
Well, do it again. Next time I'ma bite it out.
Bite it off, then.
I'm about to make some turtle soup out this sucker, man. Get the hell out my ear.
Okay, all right. Tell my to
Meme coins, they're extractions. That's what they are. Don't pretend you don't fucking know that. You fools who haven't realized what I'm trying to do in this space. As I've said from day fucking one, anytime you enter a meme fucking coin, you know the fucking score. You lazy fucks sitting around.
I was just asking your opinion. To me, it looks promising, but
look, if it could work, it would be great, but it can't. You're just going to have to trust a different set of oracles. You're replacing Bitcoin.
Chain link? You know about chain link?
It's also stupid because oracles isn't solved. You're just all of that shit is stupid. Anytime blockchains work good.
You get a lot of activity with chain link. I see it's like one of the top.
Yes, because of memes.
Because of what?
Memes. They did well on 4chan.
This is not your money. It's not yours. It's not yours.
Hey y'all, I'm launching a new coin. I'm a builder, so make sure you support.
What's going on, everybody? It's great work. Absolutely. Can't have it any other way. It's absolute great work. Good to see y'all. Jason Smith. Good to see you, D-Gen, Dougie, Bong Bong. Hope all is well with y'all. Hope all is well. I am going to make an effort not to take y'all on a wild roller coaster ride with my tirades today. Try to keep it within a certain reasonable time frame. What does that mean? Who knows? DJ, nobody cares. But for real, we're going to talk about something that I need to expound on from my last stream. I really do need to expound on it, and it's just basically the title of the stream. Do not, I repeat, don't throw pearls to the swine, right? It's a saying. It's something that people can find in the biblical scripture. Book of Matthew, chapter 7, I believe. Perhaps it's verse 6. Do your research, but this is not going to be a religious sermon. I'm just making a reference of where I got the phrase from. Don't throw pearls to the swine. Everyone is not readily receptive to information. Everyone is not ready for everything, especially when you're sharing information that holds power. How you yield the power, how we wield the power makes a difference. I came into crypto and you just stumble upon an insurmountable amount of information that you have to parse through, figure out what you keep, what do you discard, what makes sense, what's nonsense. It's all information. And you as an individual have to make sense out of it all by yourself. Because ultimately, crypto's a solo sport. You decide as an individual what you want to invest in, what you want to leave alone. You by your lonesome, based on information and data and research that people compile, that you've gathered, that you've studied, investigated, or didn't at all. It all rests on you. Yes, the information is out there. If you're worthy to receive it, it's going to come to you. But what the internet has done is make so much information readily available at our fingertips. And again, everyone can handle everything. Not all information is meant for everyone to absorb, to learn about, or to teach people. And we're finding that so clear and ever present in this crypto space, and specifically in Pulse Chain. You have a founder who openly declares that he's a giving tree. He wants to save you from wrecking yourself, and is given free books, is given hours upon hours upon hours of information for free. To complement and add to everything that's already out there. But again, in his situation, I think the wrong people received the information. Because you find out in life. That's why certain things, you have to keep it close to your chest. Sorry, not sorry. Because we understand too, crypto where it is right now, and it just in general, it's just come to my understanding, cryptocurrency is not for everyone. Everyone is not going to want to understand it. Everyone is not going to want to do the history, to learn about what created cryptocurrency, what were the antecedents that caused cryptocurrency to become a thing. People are not going to try to understand how you can use it versus, or to complement, or even versus using the dollar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're not going to understand the grassroots, the movement, the beginnings of this whole thing, and where it is today and how you could apply it in your life. Folks won't care. There's certain people that just will not adopt it, right? You get that. We see it because this thing has been out for what, 16 years? And it's just now the United States, as far as, the administration that runs the United States, is now trying to become some type of leader in the crypto space 16 years later, after Bitcoin was Genesis block launched in January 3rd, 2009. 16 years later now, United States trying to be some kind of crypto figurehead in some shape, form, or fashion. Meanwhile, people have been using this for years already. Years. But it's a small amount of people compared to the majority. My issue is this. even within this minority, you have people that don't know or don't deserve to receive the knowledge. This guy wants to be giving tree, and at the same time you're being giving tree, you're being royally disrespected. Have been royally disrespected. It's like you looking to be abused. You were talking about how you were giving Bitcoiners an opportunity to claim Hex for free. Although some Bitcoiners have claimed, many haven't and ridiculed him, right? But he didn't give up. We get that. You launched a token espousing that the token was going to do 10,000x in 2.5 years, comparing it to Ethereum. It did it in 22 months, under 2 years, right? As far as the coin, the Ethereum derivative called Hex. Yeah, on the charts, numbers lie. I'm sorry, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Okay, so that's validated and solidified his position in the space too, even more. During that time when Hex did reach its 10,000x, the post-chain ICO / sacrifice / crowdfund fundraise began. But people were already excited from Hex's success. They had no problem, including me, participating in a sac. Why wouldn't you? If you understood what was going on and you saw what was happening and you're excited. 2021, year of a bull run. Yeah, you're gonna give, sacrifice. Sure, there's money being made. This guy's teaching. This guy's showing you and proving to you what he's talking about works. But he's proving it to the wrong freaking people. Because you got a certain segment of individuals that took the information and ran with it, did what it was supposed to be done, applied it correctly, quote unquote, whatever that means, right? And then you have a certain group of individuals who took advantage of the situation. They took advantage of the knowledge, abused the knowledge for their own self-aggrandizement and betterment. We're not grateful. Continue to be disrespectful. I'm describing to you certain attributes of the swine. The information was a set of pearls that this man was delivering, the gems, the jewels that certain demographic when I was coming up in the urban metropolis of New York City, what we would call jewels. You're giving away too many jewels. He gave away too many jewels, yo. And you give it to people who are ungrateful. You give it to people who remain and behave in ways that are indignant. What do you think you're going to yield? Forget interest. What do you think you're going to yield? You're going to yield bad behavior. You're going to yield distrust. You're going to yield deceit. You're going to yield disrespect. And that's what he's had to bear this whole entire time, yo. And it's bearing fruit now. It's bearing fruit in the attempt to try to save the world, which is something that I, as a young person, learned. I wasn't no damn Superman. Right? I wasn't Batman, these superheroes. Well, Batman without his tool belt, You know what I'm saying? He was just suspect. But you know what I mean. And his cave and, you know, the $1 billion enterprise, Superman is Superman, Son of, what is it? Son of Rahel. Oh no, Rahel. Where did that name come? We're not doing that. We're not doing no Rahel. Listen, I'm wilding right now. Stick to the topic. Light Wonder, Crypto Wonder, 88 Wonder, Baba Will. Stick to the topic. This man freely wanted to save you and I and us from ourselves, from getting wrecked in this crypto space, and gave away the jewels that these people use and misuse, flipped it around and use it for their own purposes and selfish gain. I'm gonna give you an example. When the man used to keep talking about liquidity providing, you had people who couldn't wait to experiment. They couldn't wait for Post Chain to come out to experiment on what he was teaching regarding liquidity providing, and how that was one of the main ways he made money in 2021 with Hex. People were intimidated with Uniswap. You intimidated with pools, with pairs, with version 1, version 2, single side this and that, and permanent law. They allowed a lot of blockages, right? In permanent laws to become something to be afraid of because you didn't know. You're afraid of the unknown. This guy was unraveling all that and sharing the information and teaching people simple shit too, simple ways like, when was the best time you could have acquired Bitcoin? When there was no liquidity, and kept building off that. You left boulders of jewelry, boulders of gems, boulders of information. This dude gave to the world. Gave to the world. And it's a classic example of why you don't give your pearls away to the effing swine, yo. Because look at what's going on right now, yo. Who, I'm telling you, this is an individual. When you have a goal, clearly he has a goal to do great things in the world, right? And you're shadow boxing. It's like he's shadow boxing himself. His arms are too short to box with God, right? So he's boxing with himself. You have no one there in your corner to guide, to lead, to show you, right? To bounce ideas. This is I mean, what do we you think prime ministers, presidents, rulers of the world, governments, countries, kingdoms, and empires, bring it down to like organization structures, hierarchy, blah blah blah. You think heads of institutions don't have people they rely on? They could right bounce ideas off of, even receive some form of guidance and counsel. Whoever he's been receiving a guidance from and counsel, right, did him a disservice by just free. I don't know, go. Maybe they did. What do I know? I don't know. I'm just talking crap. Maybe they did. And he just said, nah, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, which is not unusual for him. You see how he's been rocking. I'm talking about Richard. Probably just gonna continue to do what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. He doesn't work for anybody, right? You want to see something done, you do it, right? But what he did consistently was show you and I and us, all of us, why we fail miserably when we throw pearls to the swine. We give away information to people who are unworthy, who do not deserve it. And who gets hurt? The people who are worthy, the people who really sacrifice, the people who want to learn, who are ready to receive it and apply the information, y'all. Apply the knowledge. Some of us were told, yo, you need to really learn, educate yourself, study, absorb the knowledge, because knowledge is power. Once you have knowledge, you'll never go broke. What did this guy do? Share knowledge for free on this thing, right? Going back to the example I'm sharing with y'all about liquidity providing. What happened when 2023, May 2023, the middle of May, when Pulse Chain launched? What happened soon after that? Folks were testing, folks, you want to call it experimenting. People were launching coins, all kinds of projects were coming out the woodwork, talking to you and I and us about liquidity providing. Out of nowhere. Inspired by him. Inspired by Richard. Taught by Richard. I'm going to even go a step. Let me just backtrack a little bit. When the ghost chains from Ethereum were forked in 2022, September 2022, people were testing liquidity providing on those two Ethereum ghost chains prior to Pulse being launched. Trying to understand how the thing works. Trying to see what this is all about, right? Close range, full range, APR, APY, impermanent loss, version 1, version 2, version 3, single side, all that. Testing. Because he gave away the sauce. He shared the jewels. He gave the gems of information already to people who were not worthy, who misused the information, who fumbled the information, who use it for their own selfish needs and greedy desires. I can't but be so mad at them because the old adage is still true. You don't throw pearls to the swine. I've said it many times before. Whoever's advising Richard is doing a piss poor job on some level sometimes. They're ill advising him. You know, I've heard a guy who I respect fully just say out loud on stream now recently that he wishes Pulse Chain was never even launched. Why? Because those sentiments make me think it's not just about the shenanigans that's been taking place on the chain. Just it's about how people don't know what they have. They really don't know what they have until it's gone. You know, you're hearing baseless, rhetoric today or yesterday or this last week about how Pulse Chain is dead. It's dead now. It's over. It's done. How? If you believe in these these lies, because I don't believe it's dead. If Pulse Chain is dead, crypto is dead. I believe they're dead, right? But you have folks who will say all types of things, misuse information, abuse, distort to serve their own needs versus everybody else. It's been reduced to me versus you. It hasn't been reduced or hasn't risen to the level of just becoming a real thing of people collectively understanding what's going on over here and understanding why we are here and where we could potentially go respectfully, without stealing, without disrespecting, without shitting on one another. I mean, the crabs in a barrel mentality over here in Pulse Chain is disgusting. And it's been this way. It's not something that just started a week ago. It's been this way because you have a segment of individuals who listened to Richard's teachings, who applied it, and were unworthy. They were here from the beginning, displayed their unworthiness with reckless abandon. Shared how they were going to be irresponsible, selfish, greedy, and reckless on the blockchain with reckless abandon. And that infection just grew. That cancer, right? At one point, it wasn't at some point, some level, what? Benign. It went through its stages. Now it's malignant. Shit ain't going nowhere. You have people who created videos, blogs, actively participating in the community, actively participating. I'm talking about streamers. Some of your favorites would go on social media and tell whoever is responding to them in comments on social media that they were broke, that they will always have to be subjected to them dumping on everybody's heads because they have more hex than anybody behind them will ever get. I saw this crap in 2021, paid it no mind, but I'm glad I caught it because the same thing has been practiced en masse among groups of people. You can see, otherwise, why has the price been so depressed and suppressed for years? We've been down longer than the coin's been up. That shit is disgusting. 5 years. The coin's been down longer than it's been up. When you have information that you give to someone who doesn't deserve it, what do you think is going to happen, y'all? You don't have to go any further. You don't have to break brain cells, break your mind, break your thinking. The Giving Tree gave information to the world about what crypto is, how it should be used, this and that, that and this, how Hex is better than Bitcoin, this and that, that and this. But you gave it to people who are not ready to receive the information. Just like there are people today who are still not ready to receive the information. That's why we are where we are as far as numbers, as far as people who participating in the industry, as far as, investors, people buying and selling. Motherfuckers don't believe in it like that. And then you got those who are participating who's still not ready for the information. Because why? Because you have grades, you have phases, You have stages, you have levels within everything. I'm not interested in being a coder, but I'm very interested in investing. There's levels to coding. There's levels to investing. And there's levels to being a piece of shit. This is one of the fundamental mistakes that Richard made that he cannot undo at this point. And I can't necessarily blame him if, his intentions were there. He had good intentions. But what do they also say? The road to hell was paved with good intentions. And everybody's paying for it. I don't care how rich you think you are, how broke you think you are. If you dealing with Pulse Chain, you getting affected some shape, form, or fashion, directly or indirectly, by the shenanigans that's taking place. By the shenanigans. By the impotent. By the power of the impotent that's taking place here. We're supposed to be viral. We're supposed to be fruitful. We're supposed to be breaking records, shattering records. As far as it's just sharing this with the world, it's supposed to be beneficial here. It's supposed to be euphoric. We're supposed to be excited about this chance to support a movement, in quotes, that we've been a part of historically, to not only celebrate, freedom of speech, blockchain of speech, and all these things that have evolved within the last 4 years, but also to celebrate opportunity for people to generate income, build their wealth, improve their health, create bonds, fellowship, improve their relationships with themselves, with people who they care about, improve communities. If you feel good when you're making money, you might be more inclined to help others feel good as well. Success is contagious too. Just like misery loves company, success loves it too. But when you attach yourself to wicked, evil, villainous cretins, this is the shit that you yield. Wondering why, how, where did you get here? What is this turning out to be? What is going on here? To where you're wondering, why did the OA stake billions and billions and billions of, why the OA decided to do that now? Why did the OA do that years ago? Huh? Not only stake for a short period of time, like many people were doing in the community. I'm talking about, right? Those who decided to use Hex as an income stream by creating short-term stakes, income stream. You want to get to a bag, you found a lane, you have hundreds of millions of Hex, so you stake it for 10 days. And you when the stake is up, you get your money and you dump on the community for as long as you desire. Going against one of the first, right, reasons why you should own Hex, to stake it. No, but people were doing the opposite the whole time. which in some instances, folks have every right to do whatever they want to do with their money. So you take the good, you take with the bad. But you also have to understand a lot of people who had this information are simply bad. And have grown to a level where not only has the level of greed and selfishness become so intoxicating for them, do they not understand that post-chain success can be their success as well? If you're a person who's been in hex, what they call them, OG hexakin, 2019, the whole of 2020, you've been in hex, and all you do now, you don't stake, and if you stake, you don't stake as much as you have liquid, your business. All you do now is rolling stakes, rolling stakes, rolling stakes. You've been dumping up until the OA decided to stake most of the bag. But this is what you've been doing this whole time, keeping the prices down. When you talk about adoption and onboarding, all these attempts have literally failed. You have the layer one now. You create these psyops and these weird arguments or weird situations where you have the founder telling the world on two different occasions that the market chose EXPX, create that type of drama and chaos. You're still doing your rolling six, rolling six, rolling six, rolling. Do you really want to see post-chain succeed in general? No, because you just care about you as you should, as a reptilian slithering snake should. A slithering snake with forked tongues that speaks two different ways at the same time, because you don't stand for anything. You're not about integrity. You are the embodiment of falsehood, of being a swine. Why would you want post-chain to be successful? Why? Why would you want that? Why would you want other people besides you to engender success? Why would you want other people besides yourself to not only engender success, but become more successful than you? Why would you want that? But then some of you hide behind the veil of some type of spirituality. You hide behind a veil of some type of religion and Christianity. You hide behind a veil of some type of living under some ideal, altruistic, noble merits and philosophy. You hide under these things to deceive the world and pretend that you care about your fellow man, woman, and child. And think it's okay, because you forget while you're chasing money, you're chasing this opportunity to have it all for yourself, fighting against one another, trying to outdo one another, trying to outperform, outcompete. Life, this is where folks fall short in a miserable way. Life has a beautiful, majestic way to humble us, to force us to sit the fuck down and reassess, reevaluate what it is that we're doing. If you think everything revolves around you, you'll learn very soon at some point in life, because it's all relative, that you don't matter as much as you think you do. Either you decide to do what's right for you, which hopefully doesn't harm a hair on anyone, so that you can move forward, evolve, and fulfill your personal mission in life, fulfill your walk, destiny, fate, whatever you want to call it, or allow the mysterious occurrences and phenomenon that occurs in life that we cannot explain to manifest onto you and allow you to become extremely vulnerable, extremely in mind, in spirit, and in body, because money ain't everything. But these people will go to any single length. We've seen it with the scams. We've seen it with coin launching. We've seen fake teachers teach. We've seen people teach the community of brainless sheep and build their platforms off of the minds of the weak. Which allows them to become absolutely conceited and believe that they have clout. This is why I say, one person said before, listen, I'm not even going to go there. Nobody out here is infallible. Nobody out here is infallible. We both had to come, we all had to come from two people, unless you were some type of test tube baby. Unless, you've been a product of some type of modern science, contrived, man-made, you're a clone of something man-made. I want to believe most of us got here through natural means, and we're not perfect. And I see the imperfection in Richard from the door. The minute someone keep telling you how good they are, they're quietly telling you the flaws that they wrestle with. You don't have to keep beating yourself in the chest talking about how good you are. That's just a sign of some kind of insecurity. And it took you a little while to have this nervous chuckle and laugh and pretend like it's confidence when it's insecurity. It's cool. We allow our strengths to build our weaknesses, because our weaknesses still are part of who we are. It's okay. But this is why I like to believe we're always work of progress, work of continuation, work of evolution, trying to just improve. Because now, the most famous, this is where Richard Hart falls short. He doesn't know how to pick good people. around him. He don't. He has a problem doing that. That's my opinion. And I got examples. One key example. The best example I could show right now. You know? You want to mix and mingle with people who have fake perceived clout. It's about numbers for Richard, right? Certain things he falls short. Who's advising him? I don't know. I told him years ago, you should tap in with the cool kids, figuratively speaking, not necessarily children, but people who just who have their finger on the pulse, pun intended, tapped in. They're on the ground. They don't live in the clouds. They don't live in some type of fake citadel, far removed from humanity and reality. No, they know. We have some sense of the temperature and what's going on among people. He needs to tap in with individuals and who are who have some proclivity to be able to think for themselves and not yes people, right? Have a little bit of intelligence. You want to chase clout, fame, marketing, all this goo goo gaga that's yielded you nothing but problems. You rather resort to having problems in your life to attract attention to your operation. You rather have yourself plastered by an agency chasing you, claiming you were fraudulent with your money, evading taxes or whatever, and you yapping 16-year-olds. You rather have that chase you, that jacket, that label, those weird ass weirdo charges to be on you, Richard, so that you could bring attention to an operation while you're trying to save the world from wrecking themselves and be a giving tree. What are you, 45, 46, mid 40s, and you're doing this shit like this? But a lot of people give him a pass and make excuses, and they don't know how to break down or understand even the importance of breaking shit down and being analytical. But you want to chase clout. It's all about marketing, twerking in front of peacocks. What young demographic? Because it's hip hop, right? Like I'm thinking about hip hop in the terms of who you try to connect with the Gucci Louis life. Who you try to connect with? Hip hop, the genre that took over the world as far as entertainment, fashion, and fuckery. So you dress as a clown because you know a lot of people, young people, they get to a bag, they have no sense. They're blessed with different talents and they get exploited, right? So you're trying to appeal to a young demographic, dress as a clown, because this is what gets exploited on TV for entertainment for billions and hundreds of billions of dollars for over 50 fucking years. Hip hop. You're old as fuck, too old doing that shit, was corny as fuck. You're twerking in front of peacocks. Who you attracting? Who you attracted? But no, you are the marketing genius. I don't know shit about marketing, son. You're right. I don't know anything about, what do I know? I don't have a big channel. I don't chase clout. I'm too old for that. You feel like it's necessary to chase clout. How has that worked for you, sir? Shit is disgusting. It's deplorable. You threw pearls to the swine. 2022 came. You gallivanting around the internet talking about you're going to go install a bidet. Bless your heart for installing a bidet. You in the States. You with some of these nondescript people who claim you got Mexicans out here that swear they're celebrities, yeah? In their mind, they swear that the world knows about them, y'all. They'll tell you shit on Twitter like, if you push back and you give them something to think about that they don't like, they'll be like, who are you? Are you kidding? I'm important enough for you to ask, who am I, bitch? Like make it make sense. They are too self-absorbed. It's part of the crop of individuals that I'm telling you that have been unworthy because they're broken people. You understand? We all are imperfect, but you have individuals here who are rich and they're still miserable. That make no sense. Going back to this clout celebrating type person. This dude chases clout. Richard, he chases other people who have clouts. How is this working for you when the #1 crypto YouTuber not only crashed out many times, not only has crashed out numerous of times, when people ask you in 2022, what are you doing pairing up with this guy? Oh, you connecting with this bid boy guy because he has the following, millions of followers. Oh, okay. So you're gonna hook up with somebody. It could be completely not a good match, right? But because they have numbers on their side, this is the marketing, this is the whatever. You know, everybody who's questioning that needs to be quiet. That was 2 years ago. What has BitBoy done for Pulse Chain? Huh? What has he done? But it's about clout with this guy. Doesn't know you smiling, throwing at pictures, taking pictures with people who just don't even care for him like that. Someone who said that they had a crush on Richard, a man crush on Richard, launches bromance on Pulse Chain. And what has bromance done for the effing chain, bro? What has bromance brought? How much attention? Like, this guy loses the mark. You ask Jack Levin to brag. You are the main dude that be like, yo, don't suck middleman dick. Stop. I never saw you fawn over a dude asking him to brag about his accomplishments, and the man did not reciprocate that towards you. But you are the giving fucking tree. You're self-imploding. And it's upsetting. Why? Because I wasted 4 years supporting this shit, bro. 4 years. That's how it feels at this point. Waste of 4 years. Giving information out, passing along information. Yo, you've heard of Hex? You've heard of T-Shares? Yo, this and that. On board, schmon board. All that. All that. And for what? For what? To deal with somebody who's scared to speak, but he'll type 18, 20 messages about P-Dye and Maker, and nobody cares. In the real, like, in the great scheme of things, only the people who got the bags want to just get some money. That's all. The people who been incessantly supporting P-Dye are the only ones that care. And maybe someone else who might want to gamble and get themselves a little bag of the coin and blah, 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 blah. But the world don't give a F. But that's where we've been reduced to. 2025, March. About some stuff about some P-Dye. But you rather bad publicity, right? Because any publicity is good for him. But all he did this last 8 years was throw pearls to the swine. That's all he's done. And you see how that's worked out for people? Everybody don't deserve the information. You got some information that could change somebody's life in your personal life. Have you not, at some point, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, have you not shared something with somebody that could have changed their life for the better. And what did they do with that information? Right? Right? They either used it, became successful, misused it, weren't as successful, but didn't give up and became successful, right? Didn't use it at all, and now in a state of regret and remorse. A bunch of different things. This applies in all aspects. It's universal stuff we're talking about. I don't care what walk of life you're in. But this is deeper because it's about money. It's about wasting time and energy. Listening to people who are like, son, when you hug these people, you could tell he wants that in his natural life. Like you hugging people in these pictures, like when he was hugging Big Boy, look at his smile. He gritting his teeth. You saw his jibs, Richard. You saw his teeth. You saw his teeth. He's smiling, showing his teeth. He don't hug people all the time. That's the point. That's a sad state of existence. That's my opinion. But you hugging undesirables. And I'm not shitting on Big Boy just for the sake of shitting on Big Boy, because, everybody got a problem. Everybody got their own, weight to carry in life. Hopefully, he finds relief, Big Boy finds resolve, and he could move forward. But he ain't the first and he ain't the last person that's been questionable, and people looking at, yo, Richard, what are you doing? What you doing? Maybe he realized the Hexicans in the beginning, many of them don't really have his back. Maybe he realized they're a bunch of liars, pretenders, bad actors. Maybe he's embarrassed about the lot of them. Maybe he is. Saw that his chain is going a different direction and realizes that nobody talking about 55-55 where it's capturing weight, where it has power anymore. So you have to succumb to launching a meme coin platform. Everybody wants it, right? That's what the market wants, right? You have to succumb to flip-flopping on some extra shit, because the last 6 months, the flip-flop has been on another level. The contradictions with Richard have been on another level. So it's probably something in the level of, man, if I can't beat him, I got to join him, man. I got a blockchain to save. Instead of saving the people, save your blockchain. Fuck the people. The people are going to be all right. We were fine before Pulse Chain. We're going to be fine with or without Pulse Chain. That's how life, shit ain't about, life don't revolve around this dude. Who's advising Richard Hart, yo, on some real life stuff, yo? Who? Like an owl, bro. Owl with big eyes. Some of you guys who purport to be Christians, I see he makes Christmas streams, right? Some of you guys who purport to be Christians, and if you have some kind of wherewithal and you're a decent human being, right? And you kind of have a line towards him, reach out to him and see how he's doing. Right? He gave a Christmas stream. He didn't do anything for Ramadan or anything during the, Jewish holiday. So, right? He does Christmas streams. So probably Christianity is his thing. Try to find a way to connect with this dude, because he's losing it. He lost it, yo. Lost a great thing, yo. When you don't have some type of spiritual foundation, because that's what I believe in. You have a hard time managing through life. And you got an opportunity right here to change lives. To change lives in no time. Yes, we waited 2 years for Pulse Chain. But imagine what crypto brings. What crypto has brought for people who held on to their crypto for in a short period of time. Making the impossible possible. You have an opportunity to change lives more than you will ever know. And you fumbling and bumbling and stumbling. You need help. You need help more than about a postcard. More than about people tweeting on this shit, yo. Talk about tweeting like the tweets make a... Come on, bro. Wield your power responsibly, but you don't work for nobody. You gifted enough to run your mouth, give all the jewels to the swine, all the pearls to the swine. You were gifted enough for that. And you're going to misuse everything else and fall short and give up and walk away and disappear? So what was it all worth? Right. Right. It's all about you and your glory. This is part of the story. This is about part of the glorious story. Nah, man, it's time you got to do better. When your body's in pain, when you have some kind of discomfort in your body, what do you do? What do? You could either ignore it or go seek professional help. You telling me Pulse Chain healthy right now? You telling me everything going on in Pulse Chain is just, oh yeah, couldn't be better? Couldn't be better? You putting a screenshot of the prices of the 4 core coins like you doing something? You put a screenshot up of the 4 core coins within the last week. Like that's something to be proud of. Y'all don't talk to Richard like I do, y'all. I'm really talking to a device. I'm really talking to myself, which is another situation. Salute to the chat. But I don't do this just for me. That's my problem. I need to stop being more selfish because that's what I see is going on over here. Selfish chain, pain chain, greedy chain, false chain, pulp chain, fake chain, Ethereum bastard chain, orphan chain. This shit ain't, you try to be giving and you get shit on. You get spat. There's your lesson. It don't get more clear than that. Your hex token been down longer than it's been up. It doesn't get more clear than that. You cry to people about why they selling all the time. You see why they selling. Because motherfuckers didn't believe in your shit like that. They don't like you, Richard. They don't like him. It's sad, B. It's sad. I'm telling you, man. It's sad for you to have such great disdain for somebody like that. Like, yo, you rich. All right, he different. Richard is different. We all know that. Different. But who's not? Everybody's different. But he introduced something that, you found yourself discovering for a reason that helped change your life. And y'all don't want other people to know what that feels like. To the point where people don't even talk about Pulse Chain going 1,000x this cycle. They don't talk about Pulse Chain doing a 2,000x this cycle. 1,000x, barely 100x. 100x, right? A dream and a prayer. 100x, are you crazy? What you mean 100x? That's how bad shit has gotten, yo. Because you got a segment of people that look like they want to control it. Is Richard versus the community. And not everybody in the community, but a band of individuals. Who have some kind of enough resources to keep prices low for 4 years. The shit can't even break 5 cents. 5 cents. That's an embarrassment, yo. To the point now where you're thinking, yo, somebody really got to come through with a big bag and just say fuck everything and just buy shit up. And who else is going to do that? Like, if you're not thinking about Richard, oh, Richard's not the reason why the thing pumping, Richard this, Richard that, who else is gonna come through and really see the value, fake value proposition that we always try to, all this stuff we've been talking, all this information that I think has merit, but so many people, take it as a joke. It's all become a meme. All this information through pearls to the swine. People not taking it seriously. Who's gonna come in and save the day and spend billions on this chain, or millions because you guys mastered liquidity so much? All it takes is whatever 10 million and see Hex go through the roof. Who's gonna drop 10 million? Many people can, and why haven't they yet? You don't need like I tell you, like with this community, right? There's certain people, not everybody, but there's people in this community. They might as well be. I mean, with these people, they act like they rich as friends. With friends like that, who needs enemies? She's an absolute embarrassment. People mentally, some people just in their minds, it's just starting over. Like it's like a reset for them, where they're like, you know what? Certain things didn't work out. They're just gonna start all over in a different way and blah 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 to manage through all this. But people over here are so vile and wretched. They call that coping. People will amuse themselves for the misfortune of others. That's how wicked shit is. This is why pick and choose what you deal with. Everything is not for you. And people will laugh at your misfortune, clown you for your hardship over here. And in general, not just in Pulse Chain, but just in general crypto. I've seen it. Seen it. Since 2017. I've seen this. So take what works for you and leave the rest alone. But this dude right here, he gave too many pearls away to the swine.